From sunrise until sunset, and dusk until dawn, every minute of every hour of every day. On the front line, it's key workers keeping our country moving, putting themselves at risk to keep others safe, for the vulnerable, for the sick, for the young and the old. We rise to the challenge. We care, we protect, we help, we fix, we deliver for everyone. We will get through this, and it's thanks to our key workers. We're proud to represent heroes, and not all heroes wear capes. Key workers deserve recognition, protection and support. Get us on your side. Join us today.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to the evening package broadcast by London Region on behalf of GMB Union National. Just introduce Ed Cross, Susie Jenner and Mick Ricks and hand them over. Over to you guys.
Good evening, everybody. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I think there might just be a slight issue with the quality of the sound and the pictures. It was jumping around a bit, so there could be some Wi-Fi issues somewhere, but hopefully that doesn't disturb our evening too much. And for all those that have joined, a bloody good evening to you all, and I hope you all had a safe day and a decent day at work today. So with me as usual is our Ed Cross, chair of our national reps, and of course our Susie as well, who's the vice chair of our national reps, and other people joining online, and the rest of our national reps. Jason's put a lovely message up. I know Bob will be on. Angie will also be there, and Emma. So really good to see you all, everybody, and hopefully Barry and Steve's able to make it as well. We got a packed evening. I'm really looking forward to some good conversation with people and some tough questions. Hello to Stuart Parry, my mate, officer from our Birmingham region. Hope you're doing well, Stuart. Keep messaging, please. So everybody, part of the packed program that we want to talk about tonight is we want to talk about the collections and the rate for the collections, and we also want to talk about the 2021 pay claim that we will be shortly submitting to the company. So quite a number of things are on the go, and then we've got a bit of an ask at the end that we'd like to talk to people about. So those are two things that we want to get out. Ed, how's your week been so far?
Well, very busy actually, Mick. Well, again, I just want to say good evening to two of our reps, Bob and Angela, who I think we left about 4.5 hours ago. Was it, Susie? In Edinburgh, because Bob and Angela have just done their first RDCF face-to-face for their respective regions, Northern Region and the Scottish region. So they will be feeding back to you all on that very shortly, which is fantastic, mate. Yeah, fantastic.
Excellent.
So we've done a quick dash back.
Yeah, how's your week been, Susie? I know you've been at the meeting, but I know it's been a tough week. It's been a tough week already.
Long, and it's only Tuesday.
Well, thank you for joining. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join.
That's all right, Mick. Anytime. You're always welcome.
So everybody, why don't we start off the conversation tonight? And let's talk about the collections. So in the recent pay agreement, we got it up to 85%. And then suddenly we found out there was a problem in how 5% of that 85% payment was going to be paid to you. And so it's caused some interesting conversations. It's caused some interesting conversations between ourselves and the company because it's not what we thought everybody agreed. We agreed 85%, but we expect people to get paid the 85%, not 80% and then 5% another month later. Don't know why. And people say it's to do with systems. I'm not totally convinced, and I'm not saying anybody's lying to us on this. I'm just not totally convinced that somebody just wants to make the effort to get some of these systems put right sometimes. So, Ed, what's your feelings about this?
Again, it's not what we agreed, Mick, and we know that. As you know, we've spoken to the company about it this week, and we've told them in no uncertain terms what they agreed, and we want it put in right. Okay, we've made it very clear that we are not happy, and it's not right for our members. Okay, it's not right for our members. There is another issue, but I'll just see what Susie thinks on that. But there is another issue, big issue, where collections haven't been paid that the GMB have been involved in, and it worked. Yeah, don't miss. Yeah, it never stops. Go on, Susie, what do you think?
About the extra 5%.
Yeah, come
on. What do I think? I think I've got to be very careful here.
No bad language.
No bad language. I'm gonna pass on this one for now.
No.
Listen. To be honest,
there's a guy called Jabby Hussain that's just messaging saying it's lovely to see you, Mick Ricks. Now, this guy is a really interesting guy as well, and he's top class, and he is a leader for delivery people within the London area. He's a real leader of workers, and I'm glad that he could join us tonight, and glad to see you looking so well, Jared, as well. Go on, Susie, come on, tell us what you think.
I think they've pulled a fast one, basically.
Okay. Well, that is honest. That is honest. I mean, I thought me and Ed was trying to be diplomatic.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice.
I do. I think. Well, you asked me what I thought. I did say I'd pass.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think they've been quite sneaky, shall we say? It wasn't what we agreed in the beginning. No increase in rate is paid a month in arrears, no matter what the size.
I totally agree with you. I think you've got a real good point there. I mean, sometimes it looks like we're having a private conversation, but we've got lots of people that's on this event, and so I want them to be able to keep up with our conversation. So just to let people know, we've had a meeting with the company this week where we have raised this in a very serious way. So it's not just us three that's having a private conversation. Now, between us, we're in that conversation because we have made it quite clear to the company this is not what we've agreed, and it's not what they agreed with us. Now, I think there's an issue, and one of the issues is that one of the senior managers actually said straight away, well, actually, it's not what we agreed with you as well. We didn't agree this, and we found this out after we've agreed this with you. And I think there's an element of truth. I really do think there's an element of truth in that it's taken some people on the side of the company to find out actually there's something absolutely really wrong with their systems if they can't flex them. And we're all talking about technology and how technology can be adaptable and flexible, and yet it appears that their systems just can't can't accommodate these things. So, Ed, do you just want to carry on that conversation and just tell people what really then the outcome of the meeting and what took place in that? Because it did get a bit. The meeting got a little bit tricky at one stage, and to be quite honest, I think the reason why actually there was a bit more of a reasoned discussion in the end, because actually one of the senior managers basically admitted and said, I thought we'd done a deal with you that you were going to get paid the 85. You were going to get paid the 85% in one go, and it turns out it's not going to be the case. So, go on.
I think the thing is, mate, when you say that IT should be flexible, I think there's a lot of careers on here tonight would say it needs to flex in the right way, which often it doesn't, sadly. No. All joking apart, we were very, very. I think we were shocked with some of the things that came back, because I think both me and the rest of the national committee were led to believe it would be a temporary thing. Now, again, it would be wrong if we weren't very upfront with our members and tell them it's not going to be a temporary fix. Their idea of temporary was a year to 18 months. Now, I think there's going to be serious questions asked, and I think it will come down a lot less time than that. But again, this is what they're saying. It will be a year to 18 months to change a whole pay system. And again, like I say, it's got to flex in the right direction. I think they now realise that, and I think they also realise that we're not messing about. We want the 85% for our members. That's what we agreed. That's what we want. And look, we represent our members, and it's the members that are important. We're not going to go in there and say, "Oh, yeah, it's fine. I'm sure we can sell it to our members." That's not what we're about. And I think Mick said in the past, we're not salespeople. We're not. We will tell you how it is. We are not happy, and it will be an ongoing discussion with the company, and we will be really pushing them to get this sorted in a lot quicker time. But we also, and we beg our members, for this going forward, if you think you have not been paid correctly, we need to know, because I'm not sure that will happen. Okay, I hope it will, and I laid it on the line. You get this wrong, and there will be a problem. It will be a very uncomfortable conversation. You do not get this wrong. Okay. Now they have promised us, didn't they, Susie, that they would not get this wrong. Okay. We had to put them on trust.
These are supposed to be manual corrections, so yes. They can't really blame. There's no blame in IT.
No blaming IT now. This is a manual entry system. Okay. So if you are not paid, because this will it be this one, Susie? That's the first invoice where we see it. So
yeah. So a week Monday should see Monday should see the 5% uplift from last month's collections. So if you had 100 collections last month, you should have 100 times your whatever 3p, 4p, 5p uplift on your collection rate.
Yeah, and that's very important. Look, we need our members to keep an eye on it. Anything you're not happy with, you get it to us. We will double check it. Now, if it's not right, as I've said to Connor Ormsby, there will be some very difficult conversations, and I will want people paying. I'm not messing about with this. It's just not right. Okay, we will get this sorted, and we're going to keep pressure on the company. We don't see 18 months or a year as temporary. I'm sorry. I thought it was 2 or 3 pay months they were going to start and offer us. No, it's not. But we told them that I'm sorry, that's not temporary. It's not temporary. And again, we've got another pay claim coming shortly. So we cannot have the same messing about. We made an agreement. We will stick to that agreement. Any more thoughts on it, Susie? Because I think it's a disgrace. These agreements are a trust issue. Okay, a big trust issue for me. You make an agreement with me. You make an agreement with our members. And it is our members who voted this in, by the way. That's who they were making an agreement with. And then we find out that actually, we made an agreement, but we can't do it. It's not good enough. It's absolutely not good enough. And we will not allow our members to be put through this. We will keep the pressure on the company, but we will also make sure that you're all paid okay. And that's what we're here for. We believe you me, the national committee are more disappointed than anybody. Okay, because one, we're couriers.
The biggest shock was actually the two of us. Yeah. When we were told. Yeah.
Are you being serious? Yeah. There will be some difficult conversations if our members aren't paid correctly. Okay. I think Mick's disappeared for a while. Right now, one of the to come on the back of a bad story, we want to try and give you some good news as well. Now, the National Committee on our last JNCF, we were aware of these ongoing emails where couriers were having to email in to get withheld collection payments. We didn't sit on our hands and say it's okay. We again went and challenged the company, and we've asked them some really difficult questions. Why is it happening? Where's the money gone? How long does it go back? And what about all those couriers who haven't claimed? Okay. Now, Susie, who is like I say, I've said before, is our own Carol Vorderman. She worked out that we are possibly looking at what was the sum, Susie?
£600,000 sitting in a holding account, possibly that just only goes back 9 months.
Yeah, fell down the back of the sofa, apparently. Yeah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough, okay? We also estimated it could be approaching £1 million. That's you have not us. You have not been paid, okay? Whether you're a GMB member watching this or a non-GMB member, you've not been paid, okay? So in our last JNCF, we asked some serious questions and we wanted answers. So how long has it been going back on? What's happening to the money? Where is it? How about couriers that haven't been claiming? Okay, now we can give you some answers to that because they say it's been going on since about last summer. Now we're not totally convinced on that, so we've challenged them to go away and prove that. They are going to contact all couriers that now have anything in those holding files, and they are going to pay you. Okay, you do not need to email in. You do not need to do any more. We've done it for you. Okay. The GMB did not sit back on this. We went in and we've challenged the company. And to be honest with you, I think the company have had a real problem again with yet another IT system. Okay, that they just didn't know why. How long was it, Susie, since our last national meeting? A month? There or thereabouts?
February.
Yeah. So
April. Yeah.
We've actually pushed at this, and we've had to wait for an answer. Yesterday in our meeting, we actually got the answer, but they are absolutely now, and there'll be a comms going out on call and on the HH devices, HHT shortly, where they are going to contact you all individually and arrange to pay you the money that you've not been paid. So if you've not claimed, you've not been sending the email in, do not worry. You don't need to do any more. Those who are doing it, you don't need to do any more. GMB have gone in. We've said we're not happy about it. That's Courier's money. It's not Hermes' money. It's Courier's money. We want that repaid. They're now going to do that. And like I say, that some of you, there might be some quite substantial amounts. To give you an example, me and Susie did it when we were finding out what was going on. I ended up with 130 quid worth. Yeah, that hadn't been paid to me. I knew nothing about it because I hadn't been sending emails. So I sent 130 quid worth. Now, I thought that was fairly high. I know there's somebody on Barry's group out of Yorkshire region, topped that, nearly double mine with 342. You're more than double mine. I had somebody come to me the other day with £210. So there could be some quite sizable amounts for a lot of couriers. And it's a big deal. It's money. It's money that's yours, not Hermes. It belongs to you. We realised we had to do some background work before we could actually go and challenge the company. So we did. And can I just say thank you to all those members, couriers that sent me and Susie their withheld email that we asked for, because we actually went to the company. We didn't realise how big it was. And when we said to the company, actually, this could be £600,000. And I think one of the reps asked a question in the national meeting. Now, I find it really concerning that one of those senior managers looked at Susie on the team's meeting and went, well, actually, I think you've got more data than we have. So, pardon? How do you lose £600,000 of courier money? Well, we've just made them go find it. Okay, so look out for that email coming through. I don't know whether you want to say any more on that, Susie, because I think it's fantastic for couriers.
I'd just like to say thank you to the couriers that actually flagged it and brought it to our attention.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, guys.
If they hadn't, we wouldn't really have known the true enormity of the problem. The company didn't know the true, well, they still don't understand the true enormity of the problem. They don't understand what's happened. So I'd just like to say a big thank you to everybody that actually came to us.
Absolutely, because it started with a few coming to us, okay? We'd mentioned it in some reps meetings. We put a WhatsApp message out. Look, can you send us these emails if you've got them? I think within days we suddenly realised we had an epidemic on our hands, and I think we had a conversation about it, Susie, with the emails coming. We were absolutely gobsmacked, and when we saw the amounts, it was even worse. We suddenly started. Well, I say we. Susie started to do our figures. And it was like, no, this is not right. It's courier money. That's what it is. It's courier's money. It's not ours. It's not the GMBs. It's not Hermes. This belongs to each and every courier that goes out every day collecting and delivering parcels. That's who it belongs to. And we've made sure now that you'll be getting that money back. Because I know there's a lot of couriers out there aren't claiming it. I've spoke to some, and I haven't got the time. I don't know what I'm claiming. I'd rather not. Doesn't matter now. You are all going to get your money back. Okay, so I think that's a huge win again for couriers. And again, can I just be honest with you? I think we came on this broadcast into the new year, and I think we were looking at around about, what was it, 2.5–3 million. We've clawed back. I think we can quite easily maybe stick another 600–800,000 on that again now. We're up now 4 million.
4.5.
4.5. There you go. So again, we are not sat back here just doing broadcasts like this and not representing the couriers. We are. I mean, again, like I've said, fantastic job by Bob and Angela today in their RDCF. Their first. I mean, I think Angela's first ever and Bob's first ever face-to-face one. I think. Am I right at that?
Was. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. There was some, and I'll tell you what, I can't go into detail, obviously, but absolutely some very serious issues, okay, raised in that meeting, which will have far-reaching consequences for the people involved. Okay, that's all I can say. Those people will be contacted directly, and we'll make sure everybody knows and is updated on what happened in that. We'll write all the notes up. And again, can I just take time to address something that I have picked up on the Wales group, and there may be a lot of more of you out there thinking this. We hear all about these RDCFs, but we never get any feedback on them. We were doing it at the end of last year, and I will be honest. And look, blame me. I'm the chair. It's my fault. We haven't been keeping up with those emails. We will be starting again, and we'll post them on the notice board. We'll post them on the WhatsApp groups, and then we'll have a chat with Mick at some point and see if we can send them out to couriers again. Because I know the guys on the Wales group will say, look, we really want to know what's going on. Even if you're telling us that Hermes filled just come up with a load of rubbish, we'd rather know than not know. So we are going to make sure that you're updated on every RDCF now, because, like I say, a fantastic job by two of our newest reps today. Brilliant. Have you got any more on that, Susie?
No, I mean, they'd never met us, let alone the company. That was a shock to them, I think. Yeah,
just on their own.
I think it was. We won't see them again.
Ed, can
Poor Angela's still recovering.
Ed, can I just cover off some of the questions that have come up?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Good, Steve.
So here's coming. I noticed that even the parcel ban's not correct. Many items are coming up as postables, like H&M, JD Williams, and eBay. And I think postables is probably one of the biggest bones of contention for everyone who's probably listening in or looking in tonight. And I think it comes back to some of this IT system stuff, but. I just thought you may want to just comment on Zahir's comments.
Okay. While we were in Edinburgh, we had, and again, I've seen him on tonight, Stuart. We had a meeting with Stuart from Birmingham and one of his colleagues, Rachel, on what they could do as a region. And I know we work a lot with Steve in the London region. And I know the regions are starting to look at this now on what they can do to try and push this forward. It is a national issue, and I absolutely implore all the regions out there, and I know Stuart and I know Steve are very actively involved in this. It's an absolute disgrace, okay? I can't say it any harder than that. It's an absolute disgrace. What I would like to ask is, how many of the managers, right, your CDMs, RDMs, how many of them don't get paid their contract? Oh, we shortchanged you. None of them. And I'll tell you what, if they did, they'd soon be raising a problem. We are under contract to be paid a certain amount for each item we deliver. Okay? Now, if the company or the clients can't get it right, we need to look at any action we can take to get this sorted. Okay? I'm going to be meeting with my national reps. We're going to do a lot more talking to the regions to try and get them involved as well. Because it is a national disgrace. There's no two ways about it. I think you're well aware of it, aren't you, Steve? It's an absolute disgrace that people go out there, you're delivering stuff that won't fit through the door, let alone the letterbox, and they expect you to be underpaid for it. An absolute, and forgive my language, a bloody disgrace. Okay, it's exploitation, right? Somebody needs, and I think it's going to be the GMB that are going to have to lead the way on this. We need to start and put all the pressure on the company we can to make. And again, look, I've seen it, and I've seen some of the couriers that are sending their manifests in. I had somebody send in the other day 92 parcels on their manifest and 2 standards. Absolute disgrace. Okay, and then can I be honest with you? What is the real stinger in the tail? That you dutifully weigh and measure the parcels, then get them rejected on upgrades. Disgraceful. Now I'm going to work with the national reps because I want that system challenging. We've done it before. We will do it again to make sure that your pay is protected.
Can I just say, Ed, though, I think we also need to be putting the pressures on the Wilcos and the other companies and calling them out for their behaviour, because, to be honest with you, this starts in their home, and this starts with them. And and certainly, I think that's important. I'm going to move on because I know there's other commentary, obviously I want to help you get some of these things. Just a comment from Sophie: it's tricky to work out we're owed on a monthly basis, and if we haven't been paid correctly for collections, we need to get them paid respectively. Then work out the extra 5% is going to be a nightmare. I don't know whether it's worth considering Ed at some point, seeing if somebody can try and put out a crib schedule for people to input their rate, and then to be able to extrapolate that would probably be the ideal.
What we're going to do, we are going to work, and again, not us, by the way. Again, it's not our idea. We've had some members come, and I've had 1 or 2 members come to me, one in particular, and I hope she's watching tonight, with a fantastic spreadsheet. We're going to have a look at that. What I think we might do, and again, I can do the IT side of it. Susie's going to do the calculations where we can put a spreadsheet out. So all you have to do is enter the number of collections you've had, put your rating, and it will calculate exactly what you should have for that month in arrears. If you haven't got that, we need to know, and we will go chase the money for you. Is that okay, Susie? We can do that to help our members, and we'll post it on the GMB notice board so you can all download it. And look, there's lots of you out there that are way much cleverer than me on IT. If you want to share them in your depots, those sorts of things, that's what we need to do. So we've got absolute proof that it's been worked out correctly. Okay, by just tapping your rating for your collections, and it will calculate it at the end what you should be owed each month for that 5%. So I don't want to offend all those people who can do it themselves, but we will make it available for those who can't.
There are people obviously calling out the IT issues.
Steve, they're very right to.
Yeah, I'm just trying to show this as well. There's a thank you from Wendy Akil about the helping get some things sorted out over the 50 collections. Mark Stewart has asked what's the missing money about. I think we'll cover that. We've sort of covering that off as we go, Mark. There is also the withholding of the 5770 that's been waiting for nearly 5 months for Wendy. She's 6.
Wendy, can you get in touch with your national rep and if you tell us what region, we'll tell you who it is, and then we'll chase it for you. Not a problem.
Hiya, Mike. How are you doing?
This is up from Tracy. When it comes to photo audits, and you ask the CDM for a copy of the photos, and 3 out of 6 are compliant, you then query this with your CDM, and she fires back, that's what Google Earth shows me. Are we check this, and it's out of date by 1 to 2 years? How can they do this?
Can I just stop? Can I just stop?
Yeah.
What's Google Earth got to do with a photo audit? Yeah. By the way. Whoever that was, can you get in touch with? Because please do not tell me. Oh, it's Tracy. I know Tracy. I've spoken to Tracy. Tracy, are you telling us that the CDM is going onto Google Street Maps to see what the front of the house looks like? That you should be. Please don't tell me that's happening. Please don't tell me that. Look, I am so. I just don't know what to say at that. Please, Tracy, get in touch. We will deal with it. I'm just gobsmacked.
I think Tracy is saying that. That's exactly what I think Tracy is saying.
It's not. It's absolutely nothing to do with what Google Maps say. I really don't care what Google Maps says. You really when you think you've heard everything, somebody comes on a meeting like this and pops up something, and you're thinking, really? Can I hear any worse? I just have, by the way. We will deal with that, Tracy, because I really want to challenge that myself, because I really want to hear a CDM tell me, by the way, it's what's on Google Maps. I really want to hear that for myself. Send us it in, Tracy. Honestly, we will deal with that, because that just, I think I'll just suspend reality for a while, Steve.
So Andre Bamford's come up with this, that parcels weighed correctly on delivery label but abandoned incorrect on the HHT. Sleep people clearly labelled 14 kilograms, always a standard. Well, right. It's not right. Believe me, I've been down at some subs and seen sort of things the size of Eiffel Tower put down as packets. So, frankly, take the photos, get it in, and if you are still getting a problem, come back to your regional rep or ourselves. Yeah. I think Adam's come up. I think somehow we'll have to help Adam on this. It looks like there's some response on the pay deal stuff that we'll circle back with Adam on.
Okay, can I just address that very quickly? The pay deal in some places, I'm not going to pull my punches, has been a mess. Okay, not totally from our side. I know Mick said the other week that we assumed a lot of things that we maybe now won't assume next time. The one thing we did assume that some couriers knew their own courier number. Okay, and it wasn't the pin for the HHT or the contract number of Rico where you get your invoices. Look, me and Susie have done an inside out, upside down, backside first in Swahili, Irish and Welsh investigation on this. We have now concluded that in the last few days. We are going to get that list over to Mick. We will go through it with Mick and we're going to submit it to the company, and hopefully there'll be a lot more paid, right? And we will try and go and get the money for those couriers who really couldn't remember the courier number. Okay.
Mark's question here is very interesting. How can a postable be diverted to a neighbour when it's supposed to go through a letterbox?
Correct.
Not come across that before.
Right. Can you send us, just to Mark, can you send us the evidence on that? Because I will go back to Connor and ask him that. And not only that, it's a one-time attempt. If you got that house, it doesn't go through the letterbox, it goes back, not to another destination. We need to know. Yeah, send me the evidence and we will challenge that.
Yeah. So KJ is asking about when we're going to be paid the ETSOS, especially owed for the last few months.
Right. Again, we will be submitting a list. Again, while we're on this meeting, can we deadline it? for tomorrow evening. We will then submit the SOS list. And I'll be honest with you, we've been that busy. We have a couple of months sat on it. So please, everybody, email in. Me and Susie, you know our email addresses. They're on the screen. But you know them anyway. Get them emailed in. We'll get the SOS list in. Now, if that's Kay, I did send you a message earlier today, Kay, if it's the same one, because I raised some of the issues for you at the RDCF. I think I know which Kay it is.
Okay, Jeff Marchant.
Steve.
Sorry.
No, we're going to move on for a few minutes because we've got another report to give, and I'm conscious of the time. We'll come back. Steve, save some of the questions because I think they're going to relate to what we want to come on to now. Colleagues, I know you were all asking questions and they're firing in. It's just that we're conscious that we do want to discuss with you some other things as well. And what I find fantastic is as time moves on, we seem to be at different phases as we're all growing within this network. And what we did was we sent out a consultation last month to all our members regards what people wanted to see contained in the pay claim for June 2021, which is next month. So we're just literally a couple of weeks away. Firstly, may I thank everyone that contributed to that exercise, and I know we did something similar last year, and obviously it wasn't as big because the membership wasn't as big then, but the membership was considerably grown. So the funny thing was when people were saying to us a couple of months ago, well, I was never consulted on it. The reason why was because they weren't a member and at that time, but they are now. And this is what we want to prove to people, that working people, by being a member of a trade union, have a voice. You have a voice, and that what your terms and conditions that you work so hard for, that you have an input and a saying to that. So we've done that, and Ed and Susie and the rest of the National Committee, they've now met, and we've agreed the broad headlines that will now go into a document that will be submitted to the company very shortly on what will be contained in the pay and conditions claim. So, Ed, Susie, do you just want to give a brief couple of minutes about some of the issues that we've put into that document around some of those headlines, just to give people a flavour of what we've all agreed is some fantastic ideas that we've had through.
Absolutely, mate. Because when we read through the comments, we looked just because we can. We pulled some of the data off, and it was absolutely outstanding how many couriers out there mentioned one word or two words, if you want to call it, either packets or the packet racket. Shocker. We never expected that, but no, absolutely. So we are going to look to an increase at the percentage of we pay for packets. You know, and again, going back to what I've seen within the last few weeks, there are some couriers out there now are virtually packet couriers. You know, just because the ratio has changed so drastically. You know, like I say, a guy 92 on his manifest, and I think there's about four or two standard parcels. Yeah. That in real terms is a pay cut, okay? We're not going to sell it any other way. It's a pay cut, right? You are gonna do the same amount of work, same amount of fuel, same amount of time for less money. We think if the company want to look at that volume of packets, then they should reward us correctly and make sure that and again, there's a lot of you out there may be wondering, are you earning the national minimum wage, right? Because of this huge increase in packets. Well, we think it's time that the company now looked at the percentage they're paying us. So we're going to definitely look for an increase in the percentage we pay for packets, and it's only right, and it reflects the business. It reflects what's happening in the network, and again, look, I think out of all the couriers, it was very hard to find one, and me and Susie read every one and we put the document together and we're sending it out to all the reps, or I've sent it out to the reps so they can then read everyone, and they were read, and we went through it very meticulously to look at what we put in the pay claim. On we would not be right sitting here in front of you tonight if we didn't say that we'd put something in to increase what we paid for packets. You would just think we weren't listening to you. We have listened. It's the number one item on the agenda, an increase in the percentage we paid for packets. Over to you, Susie.
On top of that, we've also looking at protecting the rates again, extending the protection of the rates. It's no good having an increase in your packet rates if they're then going to come along and take it back off you. So we're hoping to have that extended for an extra 12 months from February. All I can say is we can but ask.
And we are going to ask because it's very, very important, okay? And again, if you look at packets, I think that was a very close second. We're sick of rate cuts. We want our rates protecting. We have to do that for couriers, okay? Because like Susie just said, we could win all the deals we want in the world, and in 6 weeks and come and say, "Oh, we're cutting your rate." Well, what's the point of that? What's the point of that? Now, just on that point, there was a discussion about why February, okay? Well, what we thought was the best way to do it. The pay deal runs from June to June, okay? But if we go for June and they then agree it, as soon as June happens, before we get a chance to debate the next one and get the next one through, then come and cut all our rates. So we've done it from the February, so it goes right past the next pay claim. So it keeps our protection and gives us that buffer zone to actually to get a new pay deal in before anybody starts getting rate cuts. The other big thing is we represent SE Plus couriers, and what's the big thing that SE Plus couriers get? Holidays. Okay. Now I was surprised how many couriers, certainly the SE Plus couriers, said holidays are great, but why don't we go and ask for some more? Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to go and ask for an increase on the 28 days holiday, because look, it's the foundation of what SE Plus is about, the holidays, and it was huge. Okay, I was surprised at how many couriers wanted extra holidays. So I'll be honest with you, and I'm going to be quite honest, I don't think it would have featured on a list that I put in. I would have had other things, but the members asked for more holidays. It's in the pay claim, absolutely. And we're not guaranteeing it, but we will go and ask. Come on, Susie, let's keep going.
On the back of the holidays, we're hoping, or we're going to ask, to have the 90-day cap removed. So obviously, a lot of people like to book their holidays 12 months in advance, but can't actually book the holidays on the Hermes system. So we're going to try and get that 90-day cap removed.
To me, it only seems sensible. Okay. Look, can I be honest with you? I don't see how the company could fight us on that in any reasonable manner. We would be telling the company, we will be giving, some people will be giving a year's notice to the company. How much more notice do they want? You don't get better than that. But also, and again, we had a conversation while we were in Edinburgh with Angela, who I think Angela's, am I right, Susie? He's already booked a holiday for next year. That's one of our reps.
Yeah.
But now she will have to wait for the 90 days to come up to get that holiday booked. Why? She could just book the holiday out a year in advance if there wasn't that. It's a benefit, absolute benefit for the couriers. But I can't see the company. I'd love to hear what reason why they wouldn't want more notice. It just seems a no-brainer to me. But again, it gives couriers that flexibility. If they want to book a holiday, because we all know booking a holiday a year in advance, you get a lot cheaper rates. That you can then book the holiday in security. The other thing,
shall I go?
Another thing.
You go then. You go.
Up to you. Right, okay. I'll throw one out. No, I'm going to throw this one out. It doesn't affect a lot of couriers, okay, but we think it's vitally important. And one of the things we're going to ask for in the pay claim is maternity and paternity leave. And again, I know it doesn't affect every courier, okay? But there are a lot of couriers, and we've had some this year that we've had to go in, represent to the company, and say, look, can these women couriers have protection while they go off and give birth? I mean, Susie was actually cruel as a woman, and she said, why can't they do it on a Saturday night, have Sunday off and back at work Monday? We thought that was a bit cruel.
But when we thought that were a bit reasonable.
No, add on. When we heard one of the company go,
oh yes,
well, she could get a substitute. You could have heard a pin drop, because we were just gobsmacked. That's what we thought, And can I just ask? And can I just point out? Susie actually said, "What happens when our waters break?" And that was the response. She could get a substitute. I'm sorry. I think we're still recovering from that ourselves. So no, in the pay claim, and there was other things on that. There was things like jury service, all the things that you could be called upon to do military service. And your work will be protected. And again, I know it doesn't affect a lot of couriers, but we just think it's vitally important that those female couriers have the right to go off protected. And do it right, rather than having to try and, as they're giving birth, ringing around saying, look, can you cover me around? We all know it's happened in the past. We want it stopping. Okay. So that will be in the pay claim as well. Over to you, Susie.
I think Ed laboured the point there, don't you?
He did. That's a poor joke, Mick. Poor joke.
Yeah. I'm glad you're a GMB officer, Mick.
Should we talk admin payments?
Come on.
Yep.
We secured an extra £5 this year, increase in admin payments. We're going for another £5 this year. So hopefully we'll get those up to £15. I know it's not perfect. I know in an ideal world, everything will be banded correctly. But hopefully, don't laugh, hopefully it will go a little way to help.
Definitely. Again, look, at the end of the day, what we've got to remember is this is money that couriers are earning, by the way, because if Hermes can't sort the bandings out, we have to make sure our paper is protected. So I'm sorry, it is money that we are owed for doing the job that others should be doing. Okay, it's as simple as that. So I know more and more couriers. I mean, I've seen some of the amounts people are now putting in with these stupid ratios, and that takes time. But you've weighed them, measured them, you've then put the upgrade in, and again, don't talk about the rejections, because we are really going to look into that. But you are spending the time doing this. We want you rewarded for doing it. And if the company can't sort it, we will, but we want paying for doing it. Why shouldn't we?
Yeah, I think Andre Bamford made a really good point earlier on. He posed an answer there up on the screen where actually he's quite right, because we've actually seen the photographic evidence that supports what Andre is saying, in that actually the labels from the companies are saying the correct weights, and yet Hermes have banded them at a different weight themselves. So it's not just always the companies that are doing this. There seems to be something happening with Hermes systems. And I know people think, well, actually it's somebody in the company that's flicking a switch and robbing the couriers. We don't think it's as easy as that. We actually think there is something seriously wrong with Hermes' IT systems, and it's a real problem. And we've never known a situation where this is taking place all the time. I think what people need to understand is, a few years ago, this was a very small company. It was a very backstreet company. That's what it was. And then suddenly it's mushroomed into the second largest parcel company in the country. And, and then it's got to get on board with all these systems. And it does take a lot of development and a lot of money to deal with this. And the trouble is the company have just not invested in that, because they think the couriers are not going to complain and they can get away with it. So I think that's there's a particular issue there. There's one thing that's not been mentioned, and we've had a chat about this. So we've felt for a long time that worker status also grants people the right to have a pension. And so for those that are self-employed plus couriers, don't forget the company have offered you voluntary workers' rights. So rather than you having to take them to court to get worker status, they've offered you the same rights as a worker status person, but under a voluntary level, so you don't have to take them to court. That's what the whole thing about SE Plus is, that it is worker status and the rights there. So one of the things that we know under worker status is that people are entitled to a pension, and it's up to people whether they have that pension or not. What it means is the company has to fund that pension. They have to fund a contribution into it. And so we're going to put that into the document as well to ensure that actually they have to carry this out. It basically, it is a requirement that these things have to be carried out and be put in place. So we're going to put that in as well.
That's about it, isn't it, Mick? I know it's
so.
A whistle stop tour of our pay claim.
Yeah, but when it's drafted up, I mean, we have said, and we're giving people this commitment. Once it's properly drafted up and submitted to the company, we will send a copy out. So you will have a copy, and we'll put it up on G&B notice board as well for Hermes Couriers, so it's there, and people can see. Now, there is an issue, and we do want to tell people this. And I'm going to apologise to some of our colleagues that are national reps because you don't know this information. So we've been approached this week, and what we've been asked is that we still submit the pay claim and that we have a meeting to kickstart the talks, but then we adjourn them for a few weeks. And we adjourned them throughout up until early part of September. And the reason why is the company want to talk to those couriers that have not yet switched to SE Plus. And they want people to be absolutely clear that if you join SE Plus, you will be part of the pay discussions. And whatever is negotiated will also apply to them. And they want to do this. And they don't want to be getting into this argument with people because people are refusing to convert, and they want to do it right. Now we know on the ground there has been conflicting advice from some managers to couriers telling people to ignore it. Well, we all know what's taking place, and the company are serious. They want people to convert to SE Plus. And what they're guaranteeing is not like last year that if you were SE Plus before the 9th of June, then you would be part of the pay claim. They are now absolutely saying, you join SE Plus, you will be part of this pay claim. And many people have said to us, look, we want G&B to negotiate for us. So the fact of the matter is, we are saying to lifestyle couriers that have not yet converted to SE Plus, please do so, because we have agreed negotiating rights with the company for SE Plus couriers. We don't have those negotiating rights for lifestyle couriers. So, we would like people to do this. We're going to have a discussion with colleagues. It may be that it's a very sensible thing to start the discussions with the company so we all know what the level playing field is for those negotiations, so we can sort those things out. But my gut feeling, and I've only briefly spoken to Ed and to Susie, and I think it's right that we're raising it with everybody on this meeting, because we don't want you to find out through the back door. I personally think it is right that we give the rest of the couriers that have not yet converted to SE Plus, we give them that chance to make their mind up so that they can be part of this pay claim as well. But I'm open to what people think as well, and I'm gonna listen to what colleagues are going to come back with.
Just total aside, right? Absolutely, totally different topic. I just want KJ, who's posted. Can she get in touch with me? I've seen about a phone. Can she get in touch with me? That's all I want to ask. But just to come on the back of what Mick has said, I'll be honest with you. We have had a lot of conversations with couriers, a lot of emails about they didn't get into the pay claim and they feel left out, they feel let down.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, look, again, as Mick said, we will listen to what our members say. I think it's a worthwhile discussion that we look. Can I be honest with you? This is going to cost the company a lot of money, okay? Because we are going in hardball for this pay claim, okay? I would like to see as many SE Plus couriers, inside this pay claim. He's only good for the courier, okay? Because you will be on paid holidays, which may increase and get more paid holidays. I don't want people to be left out, okay? And I think there was an element of that last year, and it wasn't anybody's fault. It was just I didn't go at the right time. I thought I would go at the right time. My CDM delayed it. I want again, and I think we're going to have a big discussion about SE Plus at some future Zoom meeting or broadcast like this. And again, just on the moving to SE Plus, if you have a problem moving to SE Plus, please do not sit silent, right? As Mick's just told you, moving to SE Plus now, you will be part of the pay claim, and that's huge for you, right? Okay, I want you in that pay claim. So please, can you tell me, or Susie, or Jason, or Bob, Angela, if you've got a CDM who's saying, "Oh, well, don't go SE Plus. It's not for you." I need to know, okay? Because I will go and report that manager by name to Conor Ormsby. Okay, it is not right. And again, one of our colleagues in Birmingham region got hold of Stuart, and they found out, right? And they got really annoyed because they found out they'd been persuaded not to go SE Plus. And guess what? They didn't. But guess what they missed out on? All the pay claim and all the bonuses. Tell you what, they still are some very upset couriers. He's so upset. And if you think the power doesn't work of collectivism, they pulled an RDM down there and give him a right roasting because of what had gone on. And all power to Stuart because he backed them. Stuart Perry, who's on here tonight. It was a disgrace that field manager had prevented those couriers from being part of the pay claim, right? This will never happen again. I think, and again, I'm only saying my thoughts. Let's just pause it, right? Get everybody on board and go. And don't forget, the more we go for, the more powerful we are, okay? If we go for 5,000 or 10,000, we have a lot more clout. So let's get everybody in the pay claim. Sorry, Stephen, are you going to say something?
No. It's just I'm mindful because of a couple of things that have come up here, and one of them is about where we are with CDMs, because there are a lot of them who continually take advantage. Just this weekend, we had just last week we had a CDM who actually dismissed, in effect, an individual, plus at the same time managed to try and take rounds off another family member who was working at the sub-dep as well, and then tried it again on Saturday after they'd been reinstated. These people are acting well beyond their pay grade in the behaviours that they show towards yourselves. Everyone is here, regardless of whether it's a regional organiser like myself or your reps, to give you as much protection as possible. If you think you're being had over, reach out to us. Our emails are on the systems; they come out on the sheets that come out to you. I am seeing. I put up Mr. Goose 2007's message here because it's not just about the flammable liquids. We've touched on this before. It's also about delivery of alcohol to minors. None of this should be happening. You need to be protected. If you've got alcohol to deliver and the responsible adult is not in, you don't deliver. You could be.
Can I just chip in there, Steve? Can
Yes.
I just chip in? Because again, I've not had a chance to speak to you about it, Steve. We actually have now, and again, I think it's one of your members, Steve, that's raised it with us, Val Myers, who had a delivery, and he actually said, "You're okay to hand this over to a minor." Now, Steve, I was just gonna. I knew Steve would have something, and that's a box of wine. No, I knew Steve would have, but it's one of your members, Steve, that raised it. And again, we will be challenging the company on that. You could be prosecuted. At the end of the day, you could be prosecuted. You hand that over to a minor, you could be prosecuted. And again, going back a few years, I think Mick knows, Steve, we raised it in RDCF, where I think it was an Asda driver was actually sacked because he handed over alcohol and he'd done the pre-training. He shouldn't have done it. He could be prosecuted. He lost his job, right? Now, can I just say something? Do you really seriously think if you are prosecuted for handing alcohol over that you'll get any support from Hermes? I would guess we all know the answer to that, okay? You are self-employed and it's your responsibility to make sure that you do deliveries in a timely and legal manner. Do not do it, okay? Now, I'm going to work with Steve a little bit because I know I haven't had a chance to catch up with Steve, and I know Steve's really hot on this, and he's already working on this, and we will work with Steve as well, and any other the regions that want to get involved. This needs to be stopped. Yeah.
Just to let you know how far back this goes, I wrote during a meeting to the Chief Constable of Hertfordshire, whom I know quite well, and he kindly probably responded back to me in almost, I would say it was like within half an hour to an hour, we had a response from Herts Constabulary, making it very clear what the rule was. Now, frankly, whether it's Hertfordshire, whether it's Metropolitan Police, whether it's Surrey, Sussex, Yorkshire, wherever, the law is going to be the same. And I've just put up this other question because I think Mick, myself, and everyone else, every organiser will explode if we don't make this very, very clear again. When you are being asked to sort as a preference to be able to get out earlier and you're not being paid for it, or you are being told that you have to help sort when you're not being paid for it, and the company has already told DUs that they shouldn't be asking people to sort without paying, there is a problem. This should not be happening. It really shouldn't. It is theft from your pockets, and it's cheap labour. It's beyond. It breaks the law. It's as simple as that. It is basically comes down to gang masters. If you wouldn't send one of your children in without being paid, or you wouldn't be expect to be paid if you worked in a shop, why would you expect to be not paid to sort parcels on somebody else's behalf?
I think just following on from that, I think people also need to understand that, yes, the Guardian newspaper has taken this particular issue very seriously and have published about it. But only last week, I was contacted by a senior member of the Labour Party from Bench team in Parliament, who is the shadow minister responsible for these areas. And he has now got a number of complaints regards this type of behaviour. And they're going to raise it, and they're going to call for a select committee hearing into these issues. And it's not basically so they can have a go at particular companies. It's about people who think that this type of forcing people to work for free is acceptable, and it's not. So it's all part and parcel. So there's a number of things that are taking place around this after the explosion a few weeks back, and what was reported in The Guardian, that a lot of people are now absolutely saying that this should not be happening in this day and age. So I think that's just another point that I think people need to be aware of. But we have been dealing with this. Ed, myself, Susie, we've been dealing with this. And I want to thank those members that have come forward and sent us private information about what's taking place. We've now got that information, and we've been asked to detail the locations where this is a massive problem, and we will be providing that information. Not the comments that people have sent to us, that's private. And thank you for the information that you've done, but we're going to send the names of the locations where this is happening throughout the network.
Right, can I just address an issue that's come up on the screen there, Mick? Why can't people sort as volunteers, right? Can I ask a question? Why would people volunteer, right? Why would people volunteer to work for free? Okay, why would you just not want paying? I don't get it. Okay, why would you not want paying? Okay, we're not saying don't sort. Nobody's ever said that, right? No. Okay, if you are being paid, it's another income stream, but you should be paid, right? But my question is, right, and again, I'm not here to have a go at anybody in particular, okay, right? But if you're being asked to sort, or you think you have to volunteer to sort, is it for the reasons like I'm volunteering so I can get out earlier? Okay, well, that's not really volunteering. There is a reward at the end of it that you get out early. You should be getting out early without having to do something for free. Okay, it's as simple as that. Look, we've not a problem with people sorting, provided they're paid properly. So you were all of you that are sorting out there and volunteering, and you call it volunteering. Okay, we are not the best paid couriers in the world. I know that. Susie knows that. Jason, Emma, Bob, Barry, we would all agree with that. The National Committee. Okay, so why would you work for free when you should be paid?
Yeah.
Let's make the very... Sorry, go on, Mick.
Yeah. Well, I was also going to just make this point to people. You see, there are some people that think they are quite knowledgeable about the law, and actually, it at times it demonstrates how little they actually do know. This is not just about payment. This is that these are jobs. These are jobs. And we have a situation in the labour market today where millions of people are being placed into difficulties because of this pandemic. This company, along with Amazon and along with other companies, have done well out of the pandemic because of online delivery. So it's not as if people cannot afford to do this correctly. Now, I know there's an issue where, some people have said we've pointed the finger. We haven't pointed the finger at anybody. What we have consistently said, we want this practice to stop. And it's not just about payment. It is exactly that these are jobs. And who says these are self-employed jobs? There are hours of work at these sites that require to be occupied for work to be carried out. At least 3 to 4 hours a day in some cases. These are jobs, and they're not self-employed, because to be self-employed, there has to be a criteria. And what that means is it's not just about pay, it's about sick pay, it's about pensions, it's about a proper contract of employment, it's about holidays, all these other rights and benefits that should be paid for, and that people are being ripped off. So when people are saying, oh, why can't we do it as a volunteer? Just take a little step back. Take a little step back. How would you like it if someone did away with your job and said, because I'm going to volunteer to do your job now? Think about that. If everybody can be a volunteer, then there is no paid labour. There is no contracts of employment. There is no working rights. So all I'm just saying to people is be very careful, because this is wrong. It's a practice that is illegal and it needs outlawing properly. And that is why we're going through all these places, and we're not pointing fingers at anybody. We're saying it stops, and it stops now, and that people are put into proper contracts, and that they are paid correctly, and that they are treated with respect and dignity like we would expect all working people to be treated.
I wish I could have put it less succinctly. Can I just say a big hello to Penny Robinson, who's the London Region President, who's just put up, exactly, don't take other people's jobs. Penny, is...
How you doing?
We've had some ducks who are also members who have said, look, this is it is Hermes, and Paula, we do know that sometimes they're making the pips squeak, and sometimes when people have been taking over in sub depots on behalf of the company, they've been promised one thing and then suddenly it's been taken away. I've heard any number of stories about this. The bottom line is this company needs to invest more in actually doing it right. Ethics start at home. Ethics start at home. And bad behaviour then becomes the standard. And frankly, I've told Hermes on any number of occasions in RCDFs, although it may not be your sub depot, it's still considered your name over the door when it really comes to it.
Their parcels are sort, Steve. It's Hermes parcels.
Well, this is what I'm really bothered about. What I'm really bothered about is, and this is why I'm really keen for people to pick up exactly what I'm saying. I am not pointing fingers at anybody. I'm trying to privately say to our colleagues and our friends and our G&B members who are DUCs, you are potentially open to a legal challenge as individuals. You've been placed in a wrong position. You have been placed in an incorrect position. And it's not just about who's responsible. In the eyes of the law, it's you that, as individuals, that will be responsible, not Hermes. And that is why we're saying that Hermes created this model that is wrong. They've placed people at risk. They've placed people at risk where a DUC is now technically supposed to be employing these people. Now, I know most DUCs didn't accept to take on this role to facilitate what's taking place. But that is how things have changed, and people have been hoodwinked here. So that's why I'm very keen. I don't want to point the finger at anybody. I'm just saying this has got to stop. And we have gathered evidence of wrongdoing. Now, in the eyes of the law, the fingers are going to be pointed at the ducks. Now, I know that actually that's not what the DUC signed up for. I know where the finger should be really being pointed at, and that's the company, because the company have introduced the system, so they're not responsible. They've passed the risk to the DUCs at the end of it. And that's what they've done. They've got away with this. So that is why we're saying, look, we'd rather have this issue stopped once and for all, and for a proper system to be put in place. But I will say to DUCs that actually this is not just about payment. It's about a lot more than that. That technically these people can now prove that they may have an entitlement for employed status, and that they may be owed an employment contract, and they can take you as the employer to court potentially, and you could be responsible for tens of thousands of back pay plus an employment contract. It can bankrupt you. It can put you out of business. Now, I don't think you signed up for that. So all I'm just saying to DUC, and this is why I'm very careful not to point the finger on this, I would go get some legal advice very privately and see who is responsible for this. And the legal advice will clearly tell you you are responsible, because Hermes have passed all the risk to you as individuals.
Mick, can I just go back to this point that I brought up about alcohol, because clearly there's been a bit of commentary here, and also David Baker asked about. I just want to hit this. Just to let everyone know, there's a lot of questions that we may not be able to get through tonight, but they will all get answered. So even if we are going to have to find a way to answer you privately, they will get answered, because obviously there's great interest and a lot of things that come up. David's asked, can couriers be monitored on claims against them and non-compliant photos? Also, can we be informed what customers are making claims?
Do you want to go, Susie? Do you want me to go?
Okay.
Right, okay. Couriers are monitored on their compliant photographs, if that's what I think he's asking. And I thought we were all aware that there are photograph audits. That protects you as the courier, though. I know a lot of couriers don't like it, but it actually protects you, the courier. I've already had a couple of conversations with my depot team saying, "Oh, where have you left this parcel?" My answer is, go look at the photograph. What was me tracking? Porch. Well, if it's porch, then look at the photograph. Oh, I couldn't be bothered. Well, go do your job. It's your job to go and look at that before you ring me. They put in writing that these photographs stop phone calls to couriers, so make them stop the phone calls. If you're taking the right photographs, you're protecting yourself. Okay?
Maestro 234, Alan Beckett and Nathaniel Bell have all brought up comments about both Laith weights on Couriers Online, Beer 52.
It was Laithwaites that I think started this whole discussion about it was okay to deliver to a minor because it's not our responsibility, Steve. I think that's where it first came from. Yeah.
Well, I think, again, we'll have to sharpen the minds of those within the company.
Yeah.
And in fact, there was a very, very important, point that went out on this previously. We'll confirm it again back to the company. Penny Robinson just asked, "What's a duck?" That's a delivery unit, basically, and the controller of the delivery unit.
Yeah.
And
Mick likes him in a row, apparently.
Apparently, Mick is about to get a slap from a duck when he's next season. There was a question about when people are going to be reps are going to be coming back out to the various DUCs or the delivery units themselves, the subs.
It's happening now.
It's happening at the moment.
Yeah.
If you want a particular visit and you're in a particular region, reach out to the region. And obviously, Adam, I'm sure we can probably find somebody from South Western Wales region to get out to Chepstow. And also, I'm very concerned about this, the name of this individual here, Taxi Wrecker. I'm not going to ask whether they wreck taxis or whether they actually have wrecked their own taxi. But nonetheless, as you can see, never agreed. There's an issue.
Taxi Wrecker, what do you? Can you tell us what delivery unit that is, please?
I was going to say, can I have the name of that CDM, please?
Yeah.
So just give me the name. We'll deal with it.
Stuart's just. I'll try and get a number for you. Stuart, I'll put up Stuart's info again. Ultimately, there's this also from Gary. What if you're a Solus courier? It might be an early. I'm just going to go back to see whether Gary.
I said you linked to an earlier question, Gary, that we missed.
Yeah, if you let us know, we'll know. I'm just trying to zip through some of this, just to show you that Stuart said they'll be coming back out from Birmingham, West Midlands region in the next few weeks again to go through the pay process.
Stuart's done a lot of visit, and Rachel that we were talking to yesterday. They've done a lot of delivery units.
Yeah, Yorkshire region.
Yorkshire are out and about as well, and I think Barry's going to be out and about with them.
Natalie, all I can tell you is the last time we brought up health and safety with toilet, etc., at a depot, I did one just week and a half ago. Let's just say it's much more sparkly than it was before. And if your toilets aren't up to scratch, if there isn't the hand gels, if there isn't the PPE that you require, there is an obligation now that must be kept. There's been a court case about this as well. I don't think any of us can say enough of this.
Can I just jump in there, Steve? Because we've got a lot of issues coming through tonight. Be it alcohol, be it toilets in a DU, be it unloading solus wagons. Look, we can only answer so many questions on here. But what we need you to do, if you're on here tonight and we've not answered your question, or you have an issue like KJ with a phone, please reach out to us, get hold of us, because without your information, we cannot do our jobs. We will go and chase the issues. Steve works non-stop, Mick does, Susie does, I know Barry, Jason, Emma, Angela, who else have I missed, Mick? All of the reps absolutely do a fantastic job, and I'm not just singing the praises of the reps. They do. But don't forget the couriers as well, but we need your information. Please do not be frightened to come and talk to us. Email us, WhatsApp us, text us, carry a pigeon if you need it. We need your information, okay? Because without that, we cannot go and represent you. If you've got a problem, let us know, okay? Please, I implore you. We want to represent you. We want to fight for your rights. We do not want you mistreated in a DU, treated like a slave, exploited. Let us know. We're all here for you, okay? Please bear that in mind.
Paul has put up Paul has put up a good message. When you challenge misbanding rejections and they prove wrong, upgrade to correct rate, but then you have to email. Email again to get the SE admin fee. So just bear this in mind. Nice message about the WhatsApp group for Wales and South West region. And then another link. There's one here from Stuart, and also the one going along the bottom banner as well. Somebody's just asked about the.
We won't do that, Mark. We won't.
No, absolutely not.
G&B contacts. You are important. You are
absolutely
people.
And again, just jump in there. If you know your DU has not got a contact and you fancy doing it, get hold of myself, Mick, or Susie, or reach out to your region, because I know all the regions now are looking for DU contact in every DU, so we know what's going on. We don't want you to represent people. We just need the information from your DU. We will do the rest. So please think about it. If you want to be a DU contact, we don't care whether there's 2 or 3 in each DU. Fantastic. Get hold of us. You know where we are.
Can I just also bring up another thing? I just wanted a reminder about Union Line. Union Line, which is the union's law firm, is also the law firm for CWU, the postage union, and they do probably more claims for animal bites than any other type of claim for personal injury. So just if you are attacked whilst on somebody else's property, contact Union Line or contact your rep to get Union Line to act for a private personal injury claim on your behalf. That's precisely what they're there for. I know full well. Just the other week, a member was attacked by a dog on a property. I'm sure it's happened. This is really, really so important. I cannot begin to tell you that. Why should you face injury when it's difficult enough job already? And just another quick thank you. I've put out some body mapping exercises in London region to find out where everyone's aches and pains are and their grumbles. And thank you for that. I know most of it is lower back. And I know for those postables, everyone loves those letterboxes that are right at the bottom of the door. My favourite too. Yeah. So they're horrible.
I agree.
I think we should sue the door manufacturers.
Actually, Steve, did you know I've actually been told now it's going to be against building regulations?
It
put
is.
Letterboxes, put letterboxes at the bottom of
I
doors.
can tell you, the odd thing is actually brought through by a Conservative MP, Vicky Ford in Chelmsford, who actually did it on behalf of CWU members, or not members, but CWU representatives. Alan's just said, I hate them. I think, Angie, if you contact Union Line about the dog bite, I think probably, I don't really know for personal injury claims, it might be 6 years, but you'll have to probably check in with them. Ultimately, if it's cost you, then it's worth it.
I'll be honest with you, Steve, we've had a few couriers come to us recently with dog bites, and we have been recommending Union Line. I know Bob in Scotland had one, and that was hospitalisation. And again, I think they were contacting Union Line all off the back of what you've been saying, Steve. So fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I mean, that Union Line is there for all sorts of benefits. And don't forget, there's also GMB extras for the time you do get off. I think it's important to say, if you go to the GMB website, there's money off for all sorts of things, from restaurants to hotels to leisure trips. Even if you ever get to go on a cruise, there's something as well. So there is a lot. Mick, I know we haven't touched on insurance tonight. Do you think we should check in on that as well?
Go on then. We've got a couple of minutes, so we've got 5 minutes. Yeah, go on then, Steve. Let's go for it.
Yeah, basically, we know the insurer again has changed, and there is an issue over where people are when it comes to insurance when they're in their own vehicle, and ultimately, we need to know where you stand on this, because not everyone is covered by their insurance. If you think there's a problem, and you're not sure, please check, because again, it could leave you open to prosecution from the police if you haven't got the right cover in place. I'm sorry to say, to put fear onto you. Tracy, Susie is shattered. She's been to Scotland today, and she also started her fitness video at about 4 a.m. for everyone. No. I'm joking. I've got to tell you, the person who's really shattered has driven to London today for reasons I cannot tell you, but he's going to be even more famous tomorrow. And he's had I don't know how little sleep, but his pillow is actually just to the side of him to fall onto in a second.
When he's finished,
Alan, about body cams, I've seen your message. The problem with body cams is you've got to have GDPR, you've got to have signage on you, and a bunch of other stuff. Mr. Goose has just mentioned the top-up insurance isn't worth the paper it's written on. You've got to have proper commercial insurances. Why is Marsh insurance being peddled? I wish I could tell you. You've got to have...
almost speeches there, Steve. Yeah. I think that's where we all were with it.
Ultimately, even if you run a takeaway restaurant and you're delivering food, you need to have the proper insurance for that.
18-hour insurance. Higher and reward.
Higher reward is a standard policy that you must have, and it is pricey. So, Mick's internet is a bit.
Falling over that pillar, I think now.
Oh, to be honest with you, it's not ideal. Mick's just joining us again. There we go. Yes. His internet is his tinternet, as they say, is
a bit shattered, I think.
Yeah. If you have Van Admiral insurance, does that be? Yeah. If it's a commercial insurance, then you should be all right. But you don't need to pay 2 sets of insurance fee. That's the point. The master bar called Paula. We've had some conversations about the previous coverage. You need the correct insurance. That's why it was key to bring this up. And this is the thing. So I'm sorry to bring this up right at the end of the evening, but I just thought it was important because we haven't touched on it for a bit.
I actually, Steve, I think we've touched on a good point, because at the end of the day, I think people do need to understand. And I mean, and I'm mindful of what Paula's comment is there. I think, Paula, what some people need to have to realise, it's not about G&B stopping anything. It's actually the couriers are doing it. They're actually taking out the insurance. Now, it's not up for me to tell them that what they're doing is incorrect, because we have tested this, and there is not another product that you can get for this price on the market. There is a problem that your own personal insurance may not be compatible with this, and your insurance provider may not agree. And so there is real problems, because with this insurance, you're only covered for third-party insurance. And there is no way you can get that insurance cover for the price what you're being charged. No, there's no other provider that will provide it for that price. So I know that people are going to vote with their feet. They're going to take out that insurance until something goes wrong. So, our advice would always be, think, before you leap here, and check out your insurance, check out your proper provider, because technically your top-up insurance should also be compatible with your private insurance, because if one is wrong, then it can invalidate your other insurance. And we've known people that have been blacklisted by insurance companies because through no fault of their own. So I think it is a topic worthy of discussion, don't you guys? And we need to do it, give a bit more time to it. So I think at the next meeting that we're going to have with you all, we'll put it down for an issue, because I can see a number of people are coming back on this and want to discuss it some more. Is that all right, everybody?
Yeah, just on that though, mate, I think it's important that our members know that during the tribunal, I actually raised it with Lee Day at the time.
You did.
And yeah. Lee Day actually went to some top lawyers, barristers who deal with exactly this sort of thing. Yeah. And they tried every which way, inside out, upside down, in every language they could find, to take a challenge on this and to take it to court, including the British motor insurance people, and they could not find. They said themselves, oh, it doesn't sound right, we don't feel it's right. We cannot find a legal loophole to take a legal case on this, or it would have already happened. So can we also bear that in mind? Because I know people say, oh, the GMB should take a legal case. We've looked at this with yeah, but this is the problem. We had top barristers looking at this, and even they went, we don't understand it. We've looked at it. We cannot find anything. We don't feel it's right. No. But we can't find a legal avenue to challenge it.
Look, there's an issue, and we have been through this, and I've been really behind the scenes. Me, Steve, and Ed, we had private meetings with senior directors within the company over this, and with the insurance providers. It's not illegal, and I need to make that very clear to people. It's not illegal, and there is no way that any other provider is going to provide this level of insurance cover at the price of what is now being provided at. There is a problem in that it might not be compatible. And I've seen one or two comments on here. And there's a fantastic comment, which is quite plain and simple, actually. Well, why does the G&B try and find a provider? Can I tell you something? Me and Steve Garlick have been searching for a provider to do this for years. We can't get anybody, and even if we did, so just imagine one very brief thing here. So this is the third year on the trot that the company has had to change its provider. Why? And it's simple, because a lot of companies will dip their toes into this area of the market, and then they extract themselves from it. And because people potentially don't realise, insurance companies are there to make a profit, and in some respects, they're not making a profit because of the product that is there. So there's a number of things, colleagues. Me and Steve, we've tried like mad to try and find someone that is prepared to do these type of insurances that are actually not just based on third-party cover. They're actually based on full cover. And can we, because we could potentially guarantee them that there's, thousands of people that are prepared to take this product up, would they be prepared to do it? And we can't find anybody to do it. They're just not prepared to undertake it. And the reason why is because they think there'll just be thousands of claims against them and that they'll end up paying out loads of money when they're actually in business to make a profit. That's the problem that we've got. And I know some people may find that difficult, but I can honestly assure you, I've absolutely spent hours and days on this trying to find a provider that will do this. And Steve has as well. It's a real difficult problem that we've got.
I can tell you, I have one of the best contacts in that has dealt with private hire and taxi for years in plan insurance. Dan Severin there and the Georges. Please bear in mind, I was a professional driver. Well, I think professional for over 30 years. So had hire.
You never got caught. You just need to
No. There was an occasion when I was accused of low flying over the Holland Park roundabout by a policeman. True, honestly. He said, we stopped you when we thought you were going to take off. So I did have a diplomat on board at the time. But ultimately, they found it difficult. I actually made oddly, I actually visited Marsh, amongst others, in the City of London. To have the discussion. The point is we want to make sure that there's protections. Just one other thing. I just want to let everyone know the only reason that I couldn't add Stuart Perry in tonight was because he's having a bit of a bad hair day, but he will probably be on the next podcast. Barry Stanley's info is here.
Good evening, Barry. I hope you're okay.
Just wanted to get this out. I know it's already nearly 8 and you probably, I'm going to use a southern phrase now, you'd like your dinner because we don't do tea down here unless it's like a cup of tea.
We do tea in the north.
Yeah, but I don't know whether there's any final roundup comments before Mick. At the moment, I know he needs matchsticks in his eyes to keep him up. Yeah, I'm going to call him on the hour tonight, by the way, are you awake? Anyone who wants to come to a protest tomorrow with Mick and I for Amazon, you're very welcome in the city at 12:30.
I'll be thinking about you, Steve. I'll be thinking about you. We'll be there in spirit.
Yeah, just hope it's not raining. Colleagues, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. It's wonderful having these events. It's great to see the amount of questions that have been put to us and some really well thought out questions, and it's absolutely fantastic. And we are building this army, and people are talking, about the union, and people are talking about being couriers and what that means, and I think it's absolutely essential that we carry on doing these events. So we've said we're gonna do them right throughout the year. Thank you to our GMB London region for hosting the platform. Steve, thank you for being a great host tonight. It's wonderful what you're doing, and I just need to say to people, if people think I've been a little bit busy, well, actually, Steve has been right out with me for the last few weeks, working on a particular project that we've been trying to do, and so he's been putting in the same amount of hours that I have as well. So we both need a bit of a good night's sleep, because tomorrow we're out and campaigning. And if Penny Robinson, you've got an hour to kill, please come, give us a ring in the morning, and we'll tell you where to be at 11:30 tomorrow morning. Come and join us on a nice little protest outside Amazon's place, and we'll tell you the address where to go. But thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you for all the contacts that are taking place. You know, the messages on the WhatsApp groups, the emails and stuff like that. And I do promise, you know, if I can't answer you straight away, I will get back to you. I do promise you. And so thank you.
Well, on that, Mick, we'll go through some of the questions that haven't been answered, and we'll post them on the notice board. Get them answered, post them on the notice board so people did get the question answered. That's most important. That's what people are on here for. So we'll do that as well.
Apparently, Penny's at regional committee, so it looks like we're on our own, Mick. Well, I don't think we will be.
Well, I thought I'd be cheeky and just ask Penny, but it was great of you to drop in tonight, though, Penny, and it would be nice to see you soon, anyway, because I know you owe me a drink.
It'll be a big one after tomorrow. All right. Warm wishes. You'll be safe. Don't forget the fact that there is the legal cover. Don't forget that you've got reps in regions and organisers. Big out to Steve and his family at the moment, and warm wishes to you. We know, you know, our thoughts are there.
Look after yourself, Steve.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll I suppose we'll end it there. I'm gonna have some food. Mick's gonna have some sleep, and all is well in the world. But just not ours perfect at the moment. Please God, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Thanks for all your work tonight, Steve. Thanks.
Evening.
Take care, Mick. All the best for tomorrow.
See you.
Later, Susie. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
From sunrise until sunset, and dusk until dawn. Every minute of every hour of every day. On the front line, it's key workers keeping our country moving, putting themselves at risk to keep others safe. For the vulnerable, for the sick, for the young and the old. We rise to the challenge. We care, we protect, we help, we fix, we deliver for everyone. We will get through this, and it's thanks to our key workers. We're proud to represent heroes, and not all heroes wear capes. Key workers deserve recognition, protection and support. Get us on your side. Join us today.